Hi, thanks for joining me. So, I've recorded this, I'll be honest, a couple times now, because I'm trying to sort out my thoughts. I'm doing real stream of consciousness stuff here, and it's just getting messy. But I want to involve you guys because I just want to share this experience because I feel like you guys might have similar experience. I want to talk about a bunch of stuff, but one main thing is my collection. You guys know it's been bugging me, and it has, and I'm kind of sick of it. So, the main thing with my collection that I like is my three complete collections. The U.S. Dreamcast collection that I have, my complete PCFX collection, and my complete Atari 7800. Again, US NTSC collection. I love those, and just thinking about them, just thinking about having them brings me joy. So there's nothing negative about those at all. And honestly, I do want to connect with those more, even more than I have. I like very much what I'm doing with my Japanese Dreamcast collection, where I'm playing each game for at least 15 minutes to an hour sometimes, and then I'm posting YouTube videos and giving you guys my thoughts on like 5 or 6 or 7 of those games at a time, and just saying, hey, for me and for you, this is what I think of just playing these games for a little bit, and I think it's a lot of fun, and I feel very in touch with that collection. I don't feel like there's I don't feel like it's hanging over my head. I've at least addressed, almost the whole thing, and I want to keep making those videos. So I'd kind of like to do the same thing with my US Dreamcast collection, because honestly, probably about half of those games I've at least played before. A bunch of them I've enjoyed a lot, but some of them I just haven't even played. So I'd like to have that experience with that too, and maybe share that with you guys. The same thing with my PCFX collection. I've probably posted maybe 5 or 6 reviews of PCFX games, and done a couple of pickups videos on them where I did that same thing in the style of my Dreamcast ones. But I still, I know that there's games in there that I haven't played, and I wanted to. I've wanted to for a long time. So I want to try to keep getting back in touch with those collections that really make me happy. And in my Atari 7800 collection too. I mean, I still have been meaning to make a video where I just say, hey, here's all the games on this that that I haven't talked about before. Here's all the ones I think I would have liked playing when I was a kid that I didn't have. Here's the ones that I think are really fun to have now that are really unique for the system, all that stuff. So, I want to do that, and it's tough because, I want to keep playing new games. Speaking of which, and this will be just a slight tangent, Destiny, the alpha, was this past weekend, and I got to play that, and guess what? It was really fun. I was, I'd mentioned in my E3 impressions that I was very cautiously optimistic about Destiny. I was basically still keeping my eye on it, but I was worried that, I didn't want it to just be some, like, big death match, and because I'm just not going to enjoy that online. But it's not. It seems like it's everything that I was hoping. Again, cautiously optimistic, but just playing it, I'm like, okay, what's fun about this is that I'm getting new gear, I'm leveling up, I'm finding new weapons and stuff, and like finding my play style. You're exploring, it's a lot of co-op. You basically have these sort of like Guild Wars 2 when they have these community events like that just spring up. They're like spontaneous, something is attacking, and then a bunch of people can just join in and defeat it. It seems like all the kind of missions are co-op with like a fire team of like 1 to 3 players. So basically what I decided, I was like, my friend N, if you're watching this, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but, I hopped on with one of my friends the other night, and, like, he was in a party, basically, like, with his online buddies that he already plays online games with, and I'm like, I don't know, like I hope he and I can get a chance to like just play the game together some, but I feel like he's gonna be playing with those friends, and that's fine. But like I kind of need to know that maybe some of my friends are just gonna be playing this game, that I'm gonna want to hop on and like the two of us could just go and run some mission, like run a dungeon essentially. And you know, I talked with one of my friends that got to play it recently, and he's gonna do it too. So I know he and I can like hop in and play this game together. So even if it's just one of my friends, I'm pretty stoked about it. I tried it out, and like it hooked me enough that all I wanted to do the next night was play Destiny Alpha. It's fun. It's genuinely it plays like Halo, but I never played Borderlands. I don't know what it's like, and honestly, I will tell you the reason. I didn't play Borderlands. I mean, I tried it, but I hated Claptrap. And when I say it, it sounds like kind of a stupid reason. But I'm going to justify this because, you know, I'm one of those people, I think you probably know if you watch my channel, that I like the characters in games. Like, the characters themselves can mean a lot to me in terms of the experience of the game, and can make or break a game for me. The Neptunia characters I like so much that they will buoy, I think any of these different styles of games that they're trying out, and, I mean, as long as the characters are good, that's one of the most important parts of that for me. So, I feel like with Borderlands, it was the same way with me with Alice, like the original one, the American McGee's Alice. That wasn't the newer one. Cheshire Cat just ticked me off so much in that I didn't want to play the game. It was just an annoying character. And Claptrap is the same way. I absolutely hated Claptrap. I just knew it just grated on my nerves, like within the first 10 seconds that Claptrap was on the screen, and I was basically like, if this character has any more screen time than like the next 30 seconds, I will just not play this game. And everybody's like, oh, we love Claptrap, and it's Claptrap in the rest of the game. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. So I had no interest in Borderlands. It sounds so petty and retarded, but so anyway, this will be ironic and very shortly. So Destiny feels like it borrows from Borderlands a bit, and there's like bosses. It seems like some of the stuff, they might be kind of bullet sponges a little bit, but it's not that bad. I think it's pretty good. I like when you hit the enemies, like the bosses, like you'll see the little numbers ticking off depending on how strong your weapons are, and you're collecting stronger weapons. It's going to tell you before you're going into a mission, how your gear stacks up to the mission you're going into and stuff like that. And honestly, the types, like the class types, seem really cool. The one that I picked in retrospect seems perfect for me. It has this really cool, like, I think it's a Guardian. It has this punch move where you hit the ground and it's like just this big explosion, and that's perfect for me because I can get overwhelmed, and if I get like right in the middle of a bunch of guys, and everything's going to hell, I can just hit the ground and like it'll just kill guys right around me. I think you can do some kind of shield, which might be useful, but you can like level up you can get like a better skills for your melee, and I'm just like, that's nice because honestly, I don't know, it's good. There are really different kinds of weapon types in this game that I think can accommodate different play styles, and it just seems fun. My friend picked a different class, and he said like that one seemed perfect for him. So I was like, oh, and he was telling me about it, and it sounded kind of cool. So you take me from cautiously optimistic about Destiny to I'm gonna pick it up day one, basically. I mean, I'm still like not. I don't want to get my hopes way up, but it's a must buy for me. So I'm excited about that, and that was a long way of of talking about new games, and new games are coming out all the time, and I want to play those new games. So it's really frustrating having old games looming over my head. So, I guess, I want to weigh how much do I fear, like, not having a game that I might want in the future that, who knows, maybe it's going to be a little hard to get, maybe it costs $100, maybe it costs $200, maybe it costs $300, but, in the future, am I going to be willing to spend, $100 on a game that I, granted, when it was new, would have been $60 anyway, if I'd picked it up. Then am I going to be willing to spend the extra money on it later versus buying a bunch of games and having them sit around my collection that I don't want? I think I fell into that trap a little bit, and it was dumb of me. So anyway, I'm just gonna be making things right here a bit. But speaking of Borderlands, and speaking of money and making things right and all of that stuff, I have a pickup here. This is not a pickup that I was planning on, but it is the new Vita, the Borderlands 2 pack. Obviously, I mean, who knows, maybe I'll play a little bit of Borderlands 2. If they killed Claptrap in this one, I will be happy. My Vita died. Now, it's just one of those things. I think this was like one of those 0.01% things that just happens. I was playing it and I was charging it because I have really started to get into Monster Monpiece. I know there's like a collective groan happening somewhere whenever anybody mentions that game, probably, but and I think like the hook really is that weird thing. You're like, oh, it's this pervy otaku game where you rub the cards and their clothes come off and stuff like that. And I mean, there were censored cards and all that stuff. So, controversy around it. Some people are like boycotting it because stuff was censored. Some people are probably boycotting it because it's like, it is what it is. But, for me, I'm like, okay, I'm on board. You've interested me. This is a weird thing. Let me check this out. So based on that alone, I picked the game up, and one of my friends picked it up. So we just want to see what this is all about, and I'm so glad because really, without somebody to play this with, I think that it may just not be the same experience at all. It seems like one of the really fun things about it is playing online. And, I don't know if it's intended to have this, like, robust community of people, like, making rooms and just hanging out and sort of doing network battles with each other. I hopped on the other weekend hoping that maybe that was the case, and I only found 2 rooms. There were 2 people in it, but, I mean, these games, like, go on for probably, like, 10 or 15 minutes a game. So, maybe not quite that long, but somewhere in that range. And, so I don't know how that's supposed to work, like, just playing with random people online. But, anyway, my friend and I could play online, and, honestly, we were just, like, letting each other win and to farm, like, money and rub points and, get rare cards. So it's based on a card game, like a real traditional sort of card game mechanic. So borrowing right from like Magic the Gathering, you can get like packs of cards in the game. You can buy with in-game money. You open them up. It'll show you what cards you got. You put them in your thing. You build your deck. Really similar kind of concerns. Everything has costs for playing. Some things have costs for when they activate their skills. You have different colors of card. All that stuff. The only thing that's different is essentially, the thing in Magic that's kind of a pain in the butt, I think, would be to like actually activating and sort of doing the. It's been years since I've played it, but really like doing the battling part. So the battling kind of happens automatically. You have these 3 like rows, and there's some strategy that's involved in that, but you're basically just placing your characters in the rows and you're trying to get them to the other end where they attack the enemy's base, and you have a base and you're just putting, dropping cards in, and they're all like advancing automatically each turn towards each other and automatically fighting. So it's a ton of fun. It's really, really great, and I'm hooked, super hooked on it. So all I wanted to do on Sunday was play this game, and I'm playing it, and the sound just gets quiet and cuts out. So I'm like, So the sound basically died on it. It was crackly after that, and I called up support. They helped out, but there's nothing for it. So they're basically like, yeah, we could fix this. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, it would be around 140 bucks, probably like 140, 150 in that range. And I'm like, okay. So I kind of was thinking of just doing that anyway, because I'd like a working Vita. It's cheaper than a new Vita, etc., etc. But the redesigned Vita's out, and honestly, between my old PSP and my new PSP, I play the redesigned PSP the most because it's light and it's nice. It's nice to use. This should have a longer battery life, and just be lighter and a little more comfortable. So I was like, I'll spend an extra little bit of money to get the new Vita and just do it that way. And then it occurred to me that GameStop probably takes in broken hardware. I mean, they take in the crappiest junk imaginable. So let me see what they'll do. So I went out. For starters, I tried every store I could find. No one had Vitas in the store. I don't quite know what's up with that. At the GameStop where I ended up finally, completing my transaction, the guy was like, yeah, he's like, we basically haven't had Vitas since the Walking Dead bundle. And he said it's weird because, that flew off the shelf, and then we just haven't gotten any new ones in. He's like, I talked to, like, Sony called us, and they're like, oh, how are the Vitas selling? And he was like, well, we're not selling any because you guys aren't sending us any. So something is going on. Something is happening where there are no Vitas. I don't know if, like, the new Vitas, like, they're waiting for the old stock to sell or something, but, I mean, this guy made the point. He's like, the old stock's sold, We don't have any new ones. It's, like, used systems or nothing. So I don't know if they're concentrating on, selling aggressively units in regions where, it's the Vita's doing better, like in Japan or maybe Asia, other places. I don't know how it's doing in Europe. Maybe it's doing better there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if maybe they're waiting for the Vita TV to kind of be the big Vita push here, and they don't want to be pushing the handheld and kind of cannibalizing the release of that when that comes out here. I don't know what's going on, but it's weird that it was so hard for me to find this. So what the guy ended up doing was saying, hey, we have them available as bundles online, that's it. So I was like, you know what, they would give me a pretty good price for a broken Vita. And this bundle, basically, I was able to get one that comes with the Sony's Gold headset. And my friend really needs a headset. He doesn't like the earbuds, and he's, somebody that I really want to play Destiny online with, and he's the one we're playing Monster Monpiece and stuff. So I'm like, dude, you need a headset. So I'm thinking, if I'm going to get, a pretty significant chunk of money off, I could basically pass those savings on to him, let him pay me for the difference on the headphones, and then I'm just paying outright my $200 for, the Vita, which is what I would have to do anyway. I would have been spending about $150 just to get it fixed, and, I was already willing to spend a little extra on it. So that's what I did. The other collection that I'm addressing is my anime collection. Because I don't want it to get the way that my game collection is. So what I'm doing with it is basically I've gone through and I've made a list of all of the stuff that I haven't watched. Now, if you asked me how many things I have that I haven't watched, I'd say, well, I might have 10 or 20 things, sort of mixed in there. Not a whole lot. So basically I broke it down into distinct units. So this is like saleable units, like essentially things that have a barcode on it. Alright, so this is the real truth of my anime backlog. This includes like some Western animation and anyway, 90 discrete units. 90. I was not expecting this. And honestly, half of that, literally, is, but it's still only half, is Urusei Yatsura. that's a big, long series that I think it's 50 DVDs, I believe, on its own. Plus, there's like 6 OAVs and 6 movies, which adds another 12 to it. So anyway, I have a whole bunch of that left to watch. But I'm dedicating myself to watching the things that I have before I buy new stuff. I've gotten a couple new things recently, but I'm keeping track. I'm keeping a record. I'm taking names here. We've got, for each new discrete unit that I get, I'm going to watch 2 discrete units that I already have. So I'm already holding myself to this. I've figured out how many I need to watch in order to make up for this, a couple things that I just got. I have 4 more discrete things to watch before I'm good on that. And then for each 2 things that I watch, I can get 1 more new thing. So that, hopefully I won't, always do that, but I'm giving myself the allowance. I can get 1 new thing for every 2 things that I watch. I'm going to whittle this down so this is not an issue. And honestly, like, if the worst thing is that I have, like 50 discs of Urusei Yatsura to watch, that's a privilege, it's a privilege to own that. A lot of anime fans do not have all of Urusei Yatsura. I mean, this is one of the best animated television series ever, and it essentially set the stage for like modern anime as we know it. It's no imposition for me to have to watch that series. It's no imposition for me to have to watch any of this stuff. It's all things that I'm actually really jazzed about, because it's all things I've wanted to watch. I bought it because I wanted to watch them. So I'm gonna hold myself to that, and I'm gonna just keep updated with like anime I've been watching videos, letting you guys know what that stuff is. So I'll show off that list. You guys can see it here. It's big, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be going through. So I'm trying to get in touch with my current system, my current collections. I'm trying to weed out stuff that I don't want. I don't quite know what I'm going to do about new stuff that I'm getting. I still think I want to get Nippon Ichi's releases, just buy them outright. Other stuff, I'm thinking about GameFly. Maybe I really will resubscribe to GameFly and just say, look, if I can't bring myself to play the game via GameFly and then buy it, or at least hold myself to playing what I have before I buy something new and then playing that, I shouldn't be getting these games. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do from here on. I don't know what you guys do, if you guys have gotten to this point with your collections before, or with with whatever it is that you're doing. But yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to some of these videos too. I hope to actually be making some more, just about the stuff that I already have. And it's always a challenge too. I just don't have as much time as I used to. So you do what you can with what you've got. That's about all. So I guess that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Hope that was enjoyable, and I hope you'll join me again for more video game related videos. Thanks for watching.